Hello everyone, Voodoo here, and I'm here today with the 11.1 Havoc Demon Hunter Mythic Plus guide. So Havoc looking like a pretty good spec in Mythic Plus this tier, and in this video we're going over talents, rotation, gear, stuff like that, just so that you can play your Havoc to the best of its abilities. Now, before we get to the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm looking for 15,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and we're on our way there. So with that, let's go on to the video. All right, everyone, so first things first, obviously, is the talent builds. Now, there'll be two talent builds you'll probably play as Havoc and Keys. There's a Felskard one you can do. I'll link it in the bottom, but I won't talk about it here because it's not better. Felskard will probably have its own guide out some point in the next few weeks, but this is the best build, so to speak, for dungeons in the War Within Season 2 for Havoc. Now, this is the low mover build. You might notice no tactical retreat, no inertia exergy. What this means is that we don't really move much for damage in Mythic Plus right now. The reason this is being played is because this build and the inertia builds and all that stuff are all very close together in terms of damage, which means that just play the easier one, right? Just play this one. There is a flex point, which is the second point in character disposition. You can put that wherever you want. Realistically, character disposition is the most versatile. It gives you AoE damage, gives you priority damage through Wounded Quarry. So it's a really good option. But if you want like a little bit more priority or single target, Essence Break's fine as well. But Essence Break is kind of weird with no tactical retreat making VR 20 seconds. So I would just go with character disposition, but you can make that swap if you want. Realistically, nothing super crazy here. You can swap between Army unto oneself or Incomparable Spirit, depending on like how you feel, what keys you're doing. This one's a nice passive bonus. This one's slightly better, but more controllable. So it depends on like when you use it. But you know, nothing super crazy there. And in terms of the spec tree, you have a few flex points, namely in Imprison or Sigil of Misery. So you can, you know, drop one of those, take, you know, shorter darkness or take more movement speed or something like that. But you know, this is generally the talent tree you'll be using. The other one specifically for the Theater of Pain dungeon is this one. Now, if you raid it all or you watch my other videos, you might recognize this as the raid option. That's because it is. So Theater of Pain dungeon has exactly one pull that's about like 3 or 4 targets, which is the Spirit pull, which is, you know, even then like you still have I-beam and stuff for it. And a lot of just really tough bosses, 5 bosses in that dungeon, and a lot of just like mini bosses, right? Like a lot of just one huge target that you have to kill. So in those dungeons, something like Rage, Fire, Immolation, or stuff like that loses a lot of value. So we play this one. Now this one is movement based. You can play Exergy or Inertia, have it be pretty fine. Inertia will be slightly better for like single target and stuff. Exergy slightly better for AoE and stuff, but they'll both be practically the same basically, just depends on how you want to play it. And this is really good in that one dungeon because again, it's a lot more single target, and Theater of Pain is a dungeon that's basically just like boss simulator because there's 5 bosses, all of them are pretty single targety. There's a whole wing, there's a bunch of just mini bosses to kill, and all of them have like big priority targets that you want to deal damage to. So really not much point in taking the AoE stuff there. This tier set, this build is better with the old tier set, but still very good even with the new tier set. I'd still run it. So play this one for Theater of Pain, and then play low mover for any other build. So this one here for the other 7 dungeons. And yeah, that's basically it for your talents. Nothing too crazy. There is the movement stuff if you want to, which would just be dropping out Looks Can Kill and Serrated Glaive for these 2 options here. But if you don't want to do that, which, you know, why would you? Because it's harder. Just play this one. So yeah. All right. So talents. Let's get the opener now. So the opener means you'll have Hunt. If you don't have the Hunt, you just like throw a Glaive as normal. But the main thing for the AoE opener here, it's pretty straightforward and simple. You want to get your Glaive buff rolling, pop your Immolation auras while you wait for Blade Dance to come back, I-beam, Blade Dance meta, stuff like that. So we're going to use my trinket here because I do have a priority, Mythic. Good find. And just go through everything here. So on pull, obviously you want to just kind of like Sigil of Flame, then you're going to Hunt in, throw your Glaive out, always Chaos Strike first, then Blade Dance, then use your Immolation Aura charges, generally about 2 or 3 of them. We got to reset, we'll use it. I-beam, Chaos Strike, Blade Dance, backflip and meta, Blade Dance again, Annihilation, I-beam, and then Sigil of Spite, followed by another Chaos Strike. And at this point, you have Glaive, throw the Glaive out, and you move on to your general rotation. Now, I didn't use my trinket like I said I would because I forgot. But you'll simply just pop that with your first ever I-beam. From there, pretty straightforward. You're just going to be using your buttons as they come off CD, trying to grab as many souls as possible, and sticking onto your prio target here. It's important that you try and have throw the fight up for I-beam. At the beginning of the fight, when you don't have cycle stacks, it'll be a little bit harder just because of how everything syncs up. But you don't want to be delaying things if you don't have Reaver's Glaive up for it. Now here, We won't have it. It's fine. We have a Reaver's Glaive. We're going to hold it a little bit just so that we do end up getting beam in it. So we have beam here in 10 seconds, so I'll throw it now. Chaos Strike, and then by the time this Blade Dance comes up, we will have beam in that window. So Blade Dance is up. Perfect. I'm going to backflip and I-beam. Boom, and then it's buffed by Thrill. It's going to do a lot of damage, and we'll have, you know, Death Sweep in there. We'll have all that other stuff in there. So basically, it's just off the rip. Once you have the full 20 seconds, it's not that bad. And then that's kind of it. You're just using everything on CD as much as you can, and just doing damage with Immolation Aura, with the Hunt, throwing your Reaver's Glaive out, making sure you're always using Death Sweep or Blade Dance second, and just pushing buttons till the cows come home. So that's kind of the opener and a little bit of the rotation. We'll break down some more specific parts though, because I do think Reaver's Glaive usage and stuff like that is going to be pretty important for this build. All right, so let's talk quickly about Reaver's Glaive usage. That's really the only complex thing about this build at all, because you don't have to line anything up with Essence Break or Tactical Retreat or anything like that. So Reaver's Glaive usage, basically whenever you get 6 souls, your Throw Glaive will turn into Reaver's Glaive, which will do a lot of damage when you throw it, and then also cause your next abilities to do extra things. So it'll cause your Chaos Strike to leave a mark on your target, and then cause your Blade Dance to do extra AoE physical damage slashes. These are uncapped, by the way. They're pretty good. On top of that, if you read the bottom part of this tooltip, it also makes the first ability deal 10% more damage, and the second one 20% more damage. And then it also gives us Throw the Fight, which is a attack speed and damage buff for 10 seconds and 20 seconds respectively. So pretty strong stuff. A lot of stuff goes into it. So basically what you want to do here is just throw one to have Throw the Fight up before each I-beam when possible. Now, if you don't have a Glaive and you have I-beam off CD, use I-beam. Not the end of the world, but often you will have a Glaive or at least have Throw the Fight up for whenever I-beam is ready and whenever I-beam deals damage. So you want to just make sure that you have that as much as you can for whenever that's around. The biggest thing though is you basically always want to Reaver's Glaive, Chaos Strike, then Blade Dance. The reason we're doing that will put 1 stack on a priority target. So find the most dangerous pack, like target in the pack, whatever, priority mob, boss, whatever. Mark that, and then Blade Dance. And the reason for that, because we get the extra 3 other slashes, so more AoE damage, but it's also more Wounded Quarry funnel, which is kind of Havoc's whole thing. So basically all physical damage you deal, 20% of that is turned into chaos and dealt to your wounded Reaver's Quarry target, or Reaver's Mark target, sorry. Which means that in big pulls, you're going to be funneling a lot. So if you look at just my breakdown from that last little thing I did, this one here, Wounded Quarry with 5 targets was 7% of my damage. And this is all to 1 target, which is very, very strong. So imagine, you know, you have that 1 priority target, you're just dealing a ton of extra damage to it, often in like a dungeon. If you look at like priority targets over like a general breakdown, you'll see that most of them have Wounded Quarry as their top damage. So the more you pull, the more single target damage you deal, which is why Eldrazi Reaver is so strong. So basically Reaver's Glaive is just throw it before Throw the Fight. Throw it so you have Throw the Fight for I-beam. Always Chaos Strike into Blade Dance. And that's basically it. You also want to throw it before you Hunt, because Hunt gives you a free one. And then on top of that, you're just kind of using everything on cooldown, right? Use Sigil Sweat on cooldown for sigils, for spirits, for souls. Geez. Use Hunt on cooldown for souls. Use Sigil of Flame on cooldown for souls. And just use your I-beam on cooldown, Immolation Auras on cooldown, and just you're not really holding anything with this build, which is why it's so easy and why it's so good to deal damage. The only complicated thing is the Reaver's Glaive. That's kind of a rotation. There are small other tricks, I guess you would say. The big one, you're taking Chaos Fragments, so if you ever need a Glaive, Chaos Nova will give them to you, basically, if you have enough targets, which is interesting. And then Sigil of Misery will also actually give you a soul. So you do want to use your CC a bit offensively for Havoc, so that you get more souls for your Reaver Glaive. So just keep that in mind. And the other thing is, I don't know if I have a clip of it. I might. Cycle of Hatred is supposed to reset on boss on like key start, but it's not currently. So when you're doing a key, so if I just do like pull 10, right? I do like pull 10, should do a countdown. If I do a countdown here, right? We're down here. We're going to I-beam right before it starts. So we'll I-beam here, and then at 1 you want to meta. And what that'll do, obviously no key starts, but it will hold this stack of Cycle of Hatred into the key. So you'll have extra stacks, you'll have I-beam reset, and meta will reset as well. So that way, whenever you go into combat, after your 2 I-beams from meta, it'll always be at 20 seconds, and you'll get more I-beams that way. So little trick there, but you want to beam and meta before combat. So easy stuff there. Yeah, so I think that's kind of it for rotation. So let's go on to like stats and gear and stuff. All right, so we got talents, we got rotation out of the way. Stats now. Now stats are pretty easy. You want critical strike and mastery, and that's basically it. Those are gonna be your best two stats. Just have as much as you can. For third place, it's gonna be versatility, and then fourth place is haste. If you're playing the Shattered Destiny build and Theater of Pain, haste will be better than versatility because of Shattered Destiny, obviously. But if not, versatility is really good. And then if you ever find yourself like needing to survive things and like higher keys, you can drop some mastery for some versatility. It will be a damage loss, but of course you'll gain a ton of survivability that way. So, you know, stats pretty easy for Havoc. Crit, mastery, verse, haste. If you're playing Shattered Destiny, crit, mastery, haste, verse. If you're trying to survive, crit, verse, mastery, about equal, and then haste. So boom, stats done, easy. All right, talking on gear now, we're gonna do embellishments first. So for embellishments in Mythic Plus, pretty easy stuff. You just want 2 Dawn Thread, the crit one. The place to put this, there's a few options. You can have it on your wrists, on your belt, on your boots, or on your hands. Any 2 of those, whichever are the lowest slots. Wrists is a very good one because the items budget is like so minor. So you basically always want wrists if possible, and then 1 of hand, belt, boots, one of those ones. Early on, so where we are right now, I would craft a weapon first though, because of how strong a 675 weapon is. For that weapon, you cannot put Dawn Thread on it. Now you can also just not put an embellishment, but if you want to have more higher eye level gear for a bit, just so that, you know, you can have more stamina, more eye level, whatever, then you can drop on your other embellishments and put either Ascendance or Blessed Weapon Grip on it. These aren't very good in dungeons, but they're, you know, embellishments this time around just aren't good in general. So while you have this weapon until you get your 3rd spark, you can just kind of use it. Doesn't matter really in the long run, just slight optimization. But crafting weapon first, very strong, and then crafting your 2 Dawn Thread pieces. So that's crafting. For trinkets, the best trinkets are going to be Sephorium Pacemaker from the Operation Floodgate dungeon, and then Signet of the Priory from the Priory of the Sacred Flame dungeon. So you want the Sephorium because it's just a really powerful crit effect that you'll have basically every pull, and then Priory because it's a really strong just on use. Other good options are the Resonating Azarok's Heart from Motherlode is a fine passive. The one from the raid, House of Cards, is a really good active, and then that's kind of it. Eye of Kazan will sim well. I don't think it's that good in dungeons though because of how fast it decays, but if you get one, you don't have anything else, and you can pull quick enough, you can use it. But otherwise, not like a ton of good dungeon trinkets, but Sephorium's really good, and Signet of the Priory is really good, and these are both farmable from M+, at least up to heroic eye level, so really good there. Good luck getting one from the vault, but hey, just be like me and pull a Mythic Priory first week. Other very rare gear is going to be the Jasper Diamond from the raid. It's a ring. I think eventually we will get dinars. As of the time, we haven't really been told what those will be. But getting this ring, super stupid powerful ring, very, very good. And then Capo's Molten Knuckles is a very good offhand. It's the fist weapon from Muggsy, another very rare item, but just like really, really powerful and will allow you to, and will just do a lot of damage and just be a high level weapon. So if you do get dinars, use them on those 2. And that's kind of it for gear. Just crit, mastery, and other slots. For tier sets, the tier is good, but it's better in Mythic Plus than it is in single target, but you still don't want to break your tier until about 20 eye level increase. For 2-piece, I wouldn't even break it until 30 eye level increase because it's not a very good tier. You can probably bump it down a bit for Mythic Plus, but you know, you really want 4-piece at least heroic eye level or higher if you're coming from Mythic from last tier to even consider using it, because it's really not great, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it for gear. Good luck blasting. All right, everybody, that is it for my quick Mythic Plus guide for 11.1. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, of course, let me know down below. If you want a more in-depth guide, you can check out the one from last week. I have, you know, a ton of guide content on this channel to help you guys out. I'll probably be doing keys on Twitch at some point. I took a break from streaming last week, but should be back now. So just follow Twitch in the description, and have any questions, let me know. So hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. 15,000 subs at the end of the year, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. A big thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you to Alexander Trifunovic, Rukaza, Fear Redefined, Loose Change, Jorge Polanco, Matthew Barr, Zuligan, Gabriel Correa, Magic Man 133, Falafel Darren, Dark Terror. Thank you all so much for watching the videos and supporting the channel. Again, just thank you everybody for helping support. But if you want to support me a little extra, consider becoming a channel member. Have your voice read at the end of each video, as well as a little bit of a different role in the Discord. So again, thank you all so much. Appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.